Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name's Donald Fisher. I'm the acting principal here at Green College. I'm delighted to welcome such a big crowd. This time of term, it's fantastic. I was just saying to our distinguished speaker, it's credit to her, and the fact her reputation must be so good, it precedes her and brings you all out on this evening. I just want to say a couple of words about Green College, particularly there are, I think, quite a few people here who've not been before. We have a very active public program. Most weeks there are 3 or 4 events in the evening, and the keywords are that they're open to the public and they're free. And just as an enticement, there's often wine and cheese to follow. So if you enjoy this evening and enjoy the environment here, do come and see us again. And I'm going to hand over to Althea to give the proper welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and good evening, everyone. My name is Althea Thauberger. I'm an associate professor in the visual art area of the Art History, Visual Art and Theory department at UBC. I would like to acknowledge our presence here together on traditional, ancestral, and unceded Musqueam territory, and extend gratitude and respect to the Musqueam people who have stewarded these lands and waters around us since time immemorial. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to have this opportunity to introduce our distinguished speaker tonight, Cao Minghao, who, together with her collaborator, Chen Jianjun, creates powerful and tremendously sensitive research projects that combine critical ecology, social geography, experimental documentary, and community collaboration. Tonight's lecture is presented as part of the Distinguished Visiting Artist Program co-organized by Green College, the Department of Art History, Visual Art and Theory at the University of British Columbia, with support from the Departments of Geography and Asian Studies, the UBC Center for Chinese Research, and Canton Sardine. I would like to thank all of these partners for their support and assistance in making this lecture and Minghao's visit possible. I would also like to thank the guest lecture committee members in our department, Tai Smith, Yulia Orel, and especially Gu Zhang, who have contributed time and expertise towards this visit. I would also like to acknowledge Tracy Chu and Rachel Warwick and all of the many other staff members in AHVA and Green College who have worked behind the scenes to make this visit and lecture possible. I'd also like to thank someone who is not physically present in this room, but is perhaps joining us online tonight, and whose presence will be very much felt through the artwork that's shown. Chen Jianjun is joining us perhaps online, and he is half of the collaborating duo whose work we're going to be seeing tonight, and I'd just like to give a shout out to him. And before sharing the speaker's bio, on behalf of all the partners, I would like to extend our profound gratitude to Cao Minghao for her incredible generosity, all that she has shared with art and geography students, as well as members of the Vancouver artistic community. So now I'm going to read the bio. Artists and transdisciplinary researchers Cao Minghao and Chen Jianjun currently live and work in Chengdu. Their art practices are research-based and process-oriented, highlighting the reciprocal collaboration between the artists and their partners. Dedicated to the dialogical relationship between the realities and the survival of myriad things, their practices grow from a space of entanglement in between the material ecology of waters and the current socio-environmental realities of humankind. Tapping into this space, largely untouched by existent inquiries, they explore the vicissitude of ecologies and the reimaginaries of the future. The entanglement space indicates neither a reactionary and passive way to protect water, nor a conservative view that only emphasizes human society and its survival, but rather how we can reconstruct our comprehension of the future and countless possibilities between material ecology and human society. Practicing multiple visual narrative methods through long-term site-specific art making, they build up a momentum for the alliance among all beings. Their projects have been shown in exhibitions and at screenings throughout Asia and Europe, including Documenta 15 in Kassel in 2022, Rethinking Nature at Madra Museum, the 13th Shanghai Biennial 2020 to 2021, Cosmolopis #2, Réponse à l'humaine at the Centre Pompidou à Paris, and Cosmologists 1.5 in Chengdu. And they won the 2022 Jonathan K.S. Choi Foundation Contemporary Award, City Art Award at La Cité Internationale des Arts de Paris in 2020, Their 2021 works are in the permanent collection of the Museum of Contemporary Art, Shanghai. And they're sure there have been many others as well. So a brief housekeeping. I've been told that the bathrooms are out this door if you need to use them during the lecture. And now I'd like you to please join me in welcoming Cao Minghao.
Questions to keep me thinking. I also met esteemed artist Gu Xiong. Yeah. Thank you, AHVA, for that introduction. Thank you, Yuan, for translating for me. And thank you, Rachel and her colleagues. You have done everything for me. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, in Vancouver, I saw a reserve of wetlands in our past work. We also have cooperated with scientists who study wetlands, and this is also an opportunity for me to learn and the culture of Vancouver's indigenous people. It's also given me an opportunity to contrast the cultures between ethnic minority in the field where I worked. It's a new, different, but connected context for me. Yeah, our work constitutes a type of ecological practice, small in scope and on the margins. We are attentive to those places reshaped by the climate disruptions and the environmental circumstances where develop our long-term on-site work. Such methods can gradually free us from systematically controlled narratives of ecology and allow us to reflect upon environmental issues, based on which we would identify the situated scenarios and working base of our research and work. Yeah, Water System Project is a long-term art project based on research, dialogues, and diverse collaborations. The project was initiated in 2015 by Jianjun and I, and has been evolving since. Beginning with on-site investigations, the project reflects on the historical changes and contemporary realities of the water system that stretches from the upstream to the downstream of the ancient Dujiangyan irrigation system in Sichuan province. On this basis, we try to establish a new network among the many systems in the local living environment. Yeah, let me start with the Dujiangyan irrigation system located in China's Sichuan province and has a history of more than 2,000 years. Dujiangyan was originally designed as a dam-less hydraulic project. Was using the natural geography. Is also thanks to this hydraulic project that the city of Chengdu came into being. We are currently settled here. I want to talk about the origins and problems awareness of the water system. Here, our research discussed water and system separately. Focusing on the water system has been the basis of our work. Here, water means a material ecology, while system points to a complex reality of the interaction between the material ecology and human society in a specific historical period. The relationship develops from the entanglement space between river and the social environmental realities. It not only passively protects water, but also emphasizes the survival of human society. We have attempted to develop our practice from this historic water conservance project. Based on the emotion, we use art to explore a range of issues arising from the increasing interaction between the human and nature since modernity, to respond to the increasingly important views of contemporary ecologism and to try to suggest new possibilities for thinking and artistic practice. Let's start with a few pictures to illustrate how our water system project has been inspired. The first is a distribution map about the Dujiangyan Erlang Temple. On hill is a small but beautiful Taoist temple of Laozi. The inscription in the windpoint says, supremacy does not reside in high places. Change does not violate nature. It means the way follows nature. At this location, we can see how the human partnership with the river, the skillful use of nature mechanism has unfolded. The technique is clearly different from modern technologies used in governing water. In our fieldwork, we discovered a solid-aided power station dam built in the 1950s near the Dujiangyan project. It's not operational because of technical problems, but is silently juxtaposed with Dujiangyan as a scenic spot where a tourist company uses it to stage commercial performances. They reveal how politics attempted to transform the ecogeographical structure of the Minjiang River basin, how a particular imaginary of water control was formed at the time, and how a legacy was left. In-depth description of these histories has been missing within the literature on Dujiangyan and can only be discovered through fieldwork. These images and experience of fieldwork has inspired us to engage this long-term artistic practice with a local perspective. We have been working on this project for 7 years. Now, through fieldwork, this is the beginning of the imaginary as the artistic practice. Yeah, this is a picture of work we have done in the area over the years. To further illustrate, we talk briefly about flags and redrawing. Today's Dujiangyan is a key national culture protection unit as well as a tourist attraction. In this context, the ambiguous and shifting boundaries of the Dujiangyan in geographical space is dynamic relationship with the upstream and downstream social scenes are now fixed by the space of the scenic area, and its boundaries are solidified. Its form has also become institutionalized as a museum to some extent. The museum narrative obscures Dujiangyan's changes and complexities. Redrawing refers to imagination and reimagination of the Dujiangyan water system at different times. Redrawing attempts to outline new geographical concepts. that go beyond traditional geography and many involve historical, political, cultural, landscape, climatic, geographical, geological, and social aspects. Yeah, let's move on to our works. The first is Water System Museum, created in 2015. Along a temporary walking route, we carried out our work in collaborations with boat builder workshops in several villages, restaurants along the river, and farmers who grow organic vegetables. This project attempted to regel the water system imaginary from the four villages downstream to the Dujiangyan scenic site. We held workshops and discussions in each village. The route includes collaborative practice at the specific locations. The work was shown in some art museum, and the wooden boat sculpture is permanently on display at Dujiangyan. Yeah, as we advance our work from the environment around the Dujiangyan irrigation project to the upstreaches, we are confronted with a very different geological context and a completely heterogeneous space-time. We created a water system refuge in 2019 by working with the ethnic minority group, the Qiang in Wenchuan, the epicenter of 2000 earthquake. Local Qiang residents established a new home museum to preserve their knowledge and traditions based on the local architecture style. We built a temporary public sculpture on top of the home museum according to the traditional architecture style. In collaboration with residents and geologists, we have been able to discuss and develop a small-scale creative practice that addresses issues of landscape, urbanization, climate change, and alternative futures. Yeah. At the same time, we have continued to focus on the impact of governmental policy and post-earthquake reconstruction on the area, and the application of local wisdom in the daily lives of local people. At the end of the project, this site-specific installation collapsed and was dismantled after a snowy night. Through this work, we hope to engage the participants within the Qiang House space to consider the possibilities of sustainable living. We also want to reflect on how the modern technological construction of nature governance has already rewritten the local cultural landscape, and what the consequences are returning to the Soviet time discovered early. This field technological project in modern history marked an attempt to transform the complex geological formation of the Minjiang River basin by industrial technology. It's amidst this series of ecological research that we found the earth material the Qiang people used to build the houses they have been living in for generations. How come this construction technique from folk life, ended up being an item of display in the museum established after the earthquake. The museum's definition of its functions reflects our internalized perception of disasters and social structure problems, including the desire to conserve, exhibit, and museumize indigenous knowledge on the margins, including the margins, in other words, to confine it in the past tense. It connect the ancient past and the imagined future in the most powerful way and search for new solutions. Yeah. The Water System Refuge 2. Yeah, the Water System Refuge 2 is a series of comprehensive works commissioned for the 13th Shanghai Biennial in 2021, using research and cross-border collaborations as a methodology. The work continues to focus on the impacts of local policies and post-disaster reconstruction after 2008 Sichuan earthquake. Continue from the 2019 work in cooperation with architects that work with new rammed earth technology. They develop a new natural construction materials by using local soil, gravel, and sand. It's also a project of the Department of Architecture of Chinese University of Hong Kong. A building can meet the standard of earthquake resistance design by only making adjustment of the ratio of particles with different grain size. According to the around 800 million people around the globe still live in rammed earth buildings, which are commonly seen in southwest China. Yet, for no standard has been set up for such architecture, and due to various conceptual and technological constraints, the rammed earth construct was not included in the post-earthquake reconstruction plan. So based on the long-term research of botanists and geologists in the area, this project discusses the frequent disasters in the upstream of Minjiang River related to the urgent need for collective experiment beyond the region. We need to think about the diversity of local traditions, local plans, and ancient wisdom. We also the need for critiquing the compressed towards nature disasters indicates how we face ruins and technology for their reconstruction, and how we think about the past-future relationship. Can a post-disaster refuge provide a shelter or other species and materials? Ecological incidents at specific sites show various connections to global climate change, industrial, technological development, as well as political economy. This work is also attempt to search for new perspectives and new approaches to ecological practice based on research-oriented arts in collaboration with social and natural science and humanities. We want to explore Yeah, we want to explore more generative experiments and practices in the process. So it's a grain size distribution for the building. Yeah. So the epicenter of Wenchuan earthquake. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, habitat, geology, and energy basis is part of the water system refuge 3 work. This is we do collaboration with scientists, architects, and ecologists. Yeah, let's look at this video for a few minutes.
建这个定位站呢，实际上因为过去就是实际上我们的研究阶段就分了3个。第一个呢就是普查式的这个调查，那么这个就是1960年就是开始，到1976年结束，这是个普查式的考察。然后第2个阶段呢，我们就定点，就是贡嘎山的这个定点考察，花了30年的时间，然后就出了《贡嘎山植被》这本书。那么前面呢都是属于定性的这种，就是说初放的这种科学研究。那么我们到这个时候，我们就感觉到，我们的研究的话，把这个之下的话，就说他的
科学家们在这个印度大陆和欧亚大陆的缝合带上，也就是在雅鲁藏布江河谷发现了深纹铝岩。通过这个缝合带的这个深纹铝岩的研究啊，就发现这块石头里边，他所看到的这个一些地球地下的密啊，就说它是一种超激性的岩石，是埋在地球深部的这个这样一种岩石，在火山锥附近呢，也这个采集到了火山熔岩的一种这个角砾岩这个岩石标本。 这个是规制的啊。它的这个在火山熔岩的活动下，在这个岩石重结晶的过程当中，形成了一种角砾岩。这种角砾岩呢，是以硅为主。当然，巴戎朗纳山下啊，我们也捡到了一些金属矿体。那这个金属矿也是火山熔岩冷却以后，通过这个矿物元素的重新交接、重结晶作用以后呢，形成的一个复合型的金属矿产。肉眼观察呢，有铅、锌、铜、金啊，这个比重很重的一些这个矿产。白鹤滩大堡的基岩呢，它也是一块火山岩体啊，火山岩体。灰长岩啊，这个是非常坚硬的。所以在做这项大坝选址工作的时候呢，我们要做多年的大坝稳定性观测。除了它岩石本身的一些这个地质结构、矿物元素、它的这个软硬度啊的分析以外，要做大量的探洞啊，导管的探洞，包括有没有断层，有没有破碎带，有没有含水层，它周边围岩是个什么情况。所以说，通过几十年的这个探洞工程、地质调查、地质观测以后呢，这个就决定选址整个西罗渡电站的这个两边的洞室工程，包括地下交通洞、地下发电厂房、地下的一些配套的一些设施，总共它的洞穴工程啊是360多公里。我们觉得呢，这些爆出的预考是一半咸，一半淡。现在硬控区这部分是咸水，我们国家控制的是这部分是淡水。那从办公户的
就是生土建筑，它也有它的一些局限性，比如说每个地方的土，它的性能和成分是不一样的。那我们需要去分析和提升它的土壤的这个强度。那另外就是说，它也是需要在就是结构设计上面和抗震上面是需要有一些设计的，就是应对我们现在频发的一些自然灾害等等的问题。所以我们就用一些科学的方法对它进行了一个提升。那这些方法里边呢，有我们自己的本土的一些科研成果，也有一些就是借鉴的国外的一些生土研究的一些成果，比如说法国的生土国际建筑中心的一些研究成果。然后最基础的就是一个土壤配比。那我们知道土壤里边有很多的颗粒的粒径有大有小。那我们先去分析它这个每一种粒径的成分的量有多少，然后我们通过一些实验室的数据，然后来调整它的这个量，然后比如说我们添加一些石、沙子或者是纤维等等，来提高它这个土壤配比的一个曲线的一个就是均匀分布的这样一个合理性。那这样可以提高它这个土壤的强度以及控制它的裂缝。在有必要的时候呢，可能有添加一些粘结剂，比如说糯米胶啊、石灰啊等等，来进一步的提高它的这个强度。
Yeah, this video is a scientific investigation that analyzes the geological and seismic conditions of the Hengduan Mountains in the upper reaches of the Minjiang River and the Qinghai Tibai plateau, a region with a particularly extreme climate for human habitation. It's also part of the Himalayas, where the survey report provide a quantitative analysis of the minerals and metals of the region. The landscape and the stones presented as boulders introduce mysterious vision to the work. Some stones bear witness to the secrets of the subsoil. Others have a specific material gravity, emphasizing the important contribution of geological energy to the soil and historical infrastructure of the area, defined as ecologically sensitive area. This area is also a minority region with the wisdom of the people's daily lives and the geological perspective of time over hundreds of millions of years provide us with a perspective and expanses beyond modernity. This evident in the architecture of the area. Once again, it provide us with awareness of the everyday and of time. Yeah, having said that, I hope you can join me in wandering along a watershed. Now that we arrived at its source, Water System Refuge 3 2022 is a project in collaboration with grassland pastoralists in the headwaters of the water system, focusing on one of the most innovative grassland restoration projects. This work examines sanding and black beach treatments and showcases the black tent, a pastoral settlement from that transcends the notions of private ownership and poverty circulated in the context of modernity. It aims at exploring various effects of global climate change and the geological flux of grassland. For example, ecological problems and the integral relationship between ancient and future practice. It also imagines the potential of a refuge for the other species and materials based on relationality and holism. This wisdom of grass planting taking place in the black tent is thus a collective reflection on the intertwined issues of river sources, grasses, sands, black soil beaches, picas, yaks, humans, and the global environment. It's a form of community practice on the grasslands. The work reveals new ways of building the interconnectedness of the entire planet. Yeah, this work has been realized in the framework of document 1015, the Video Grass Sand Global Environmental Apparatuses 2022 is part of the larger Water System Refuge 3 project. This piece will be, let me, minutes. Yeah, this video about this remediation of grassland desertification and degradation is an ecological reality and action as a source region of the river system. Pastoralists use local wisdom about nature combining traditional and modern technological methods to restore the grassland upon which pastoralists, other animals, and plants depend. According to the pastoralists, the kind of grass growing practice has been carried out for over years. This challenging, complex, and relational practice are based on holistic traditional knowledge. Not only do they address some local environmental issues, but they also remind us of the need to reflect deeply on the nature understanding constructed for the world of all things by the global environmental apparatus that is widely distributed across the planet. That they remind us of the necessity of reflect upon issues, including the specific environment, the living conditions of the ethnic minorities, other ethical as well as ecological problems from the perspectives of the tertiary and collective. Yeah, Black meetings, also part of the Water System Refuge 3 2022, is a series of discussions about the sanctification and formation of black beaches. The black tent reflects the entanglement of the source, grass, sanctification, picas, yaks, black beaches, and global environmental crisis. Black Tent Meeting is an event based on the public space of the tent. In the exhibition, opening up a dialogue in the fluidity of the tent itself. For time's sake, I can only give you one example. The main elements are the ecological wisdom of Tribuga Bay in Colombia and the Dujiangyan water system in China. Ancient transborder species never stop making life-giving connections between cells and the plant. We give a sense of what species systems are capable of, but as global ecological issues come to the fore, wherever we are experiencing the fact that the planet's climate and ecosystem are rapidly changing, attempts to the attempts to perpetuate the ecological wisdom of non-modernity at places like the Chibuca Bay in Colombia and the Dujiangyan water system in China are connecting specific local contexts and technologies to global issues around climate change. So we practice forgotten and abandoned tools and methods. So I will tell a few short stories told to us by our pastoralist friends. My friend is a herdsman. One day, his mother sold a bowl of yak milk to a guest, and it was accidentally knocked over, and she was very upset. The guest did not understand why she was sad. The mother explained, yak milk is a mother yak to feed the calf, but also contributed to us. The milk was spilled by me. I feel very sorry for the mother yak. So how do we move beyond the momentary and look at it more dialectically? Its holistic practice for us is also the beginning of experimentation, at the beginning of opening up collaborations between different disciplines and species. Like that PAX, we will talk about it on the level of construction with architects and locals. If we can, we also invite yaks, pecans, and so on. Of course, it provides a perspective. So we have 3 workshops in the Black Tent meeting, The making of the book, The Ecology of Sands and Black Beach, began with tanka paintings of world and beings of Kurtikachuka. Album Mr. Barang gave to us when we were doing research in Deutsch, namely the source of the water system. When we opened the album, we entered a parallel grassland cosmos composed of 28 tankas. The stories of ecology there, moving and uncharted narrative, the sustainable human practices, real environmental problems, and their close relations to the diversity of grassland habitats. Meanwhile, they also offer a way to connect with local knowledge. We accordingly invited geologists, anthropologists, environmentalists, ecologists to co-create this book. We assembled as a source to build a value system of integral survival based on the management of sands and the Black Beach from the perspectives of art, geology, wildland herders, and anthropology. I will briefly discuss Water System School, also part of the Water System Refuge 3 project. The Water System School is rooted in the long-term research project Water System Refuge, which explores a specific site as a basis and a starting point for creative ecological practice. We believe that any place, any minor details of the water system work can become potential school for exploring and practicing deeper environmental issues and for establishing multiple alliances between the ecological of the planet. The Water System School therefore used the space number 16 number 36 in Castle, combining multiple elements of artistic practice, theory, problem solving, and a series of collaborative workshop constructions. It shares and engages dialogues with all people to complement each other's approaches and constantly develops new collaborative ways of pursuing local narratives and border-crossing mobilities. Yeah. So this is a text of the workshop. Yeah. Maybe we can't finish. Yeah. So we have 3 workshops in the water system school. It's beautiful slippers. Working on the grasslands, we also worked with herdsmen to wheel yak hair items, a livelihood based on the fine hair of yak. Yak hair connects herders, sheep, and cattle, land, grass, architecture, before finally turning into grassland fertilizer. This demonstrates the ecological wisdom of nomadism. As plastics and imported goods are introduced into the grassland in recent years, industrial products are gradually replacing products made from yak hair. So we want to make some made hair items. So we collaborate with the grassland ecological planting farmers cooperative to help the first round of yak hair handicrafts production, which includes head hair slippers on display. Through this art practice, we intend to gain a deeper insight into the relationship between grassland humans and all forms of life in nature, and to reflect on the multiple impacts faced by the fragile grassland ecology. So that's all I share today. Sorry, my English. Yeah. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying that Black Tent meetings and water system school and the publications are all continue to grow and be a work in progress. What we are working on is water system refuge 4, which is issues about women and nature, including the frequency of music in the region and the relationship between everything. We will be working with herdsmen, Tibetan musicians, ecologists, and anthropologists. The project was commissioned by the Tycoon in Hong Kong, so this is our new video in the exhibition. For the next year's work, we continue to research and create in this region around the Himalayas, especially the border area between China and Nepal. Thank you all for your time so much for my share. Thank you.